In order for you to set up your funnel properly, first you need to understand how a funnel actually flows so that you can connect all the proper pieces. Here you're seeing a simple passive funnel or an opt-in funnel. This is where you offer a freebie, send a series of emails, and then drive people directly to your sales page. There's no webinar or phone call component in this particular kind of funnel. Here you'll see that the funnel starts with your core content, which you'll learn to create on day 7. So don't worry about that. But essentially, all of the content that you create, your social media posts, blog posts, videos, podcasts, all of that stuff should be driving people to your freebie page. And on this freebie page, you're going to be promoting your freebie. And after you promote your freebie and they complete the form, that is when your email sequence will start. So inside of your email service provider, the trigger is going to be when people complete the form for your freebie. Okay. Usually this is done with either a tag or the completion of a specific form. So if you're in ConvertKit, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, the triggers are always going to be either when the form is complete or when a specific tag is added to a subscriber because they downloaded your freebie. After that is triggered, the next step is going to be to send this series of emails that are going to drive people to the sales page. So in your email sequence that you wrote, all of the links in there should be driving people to your sales page where they're actually going to buy. When you set up your email sequence, you can spread it out how you see fit. My recommendation is to spread it out every 2 to 3 days. But if you have a lower price product, like less than $500 or even less than $1,000, you could even send 3 to 5 emails every back to back every day. So you'll send one email per day for 3 days or one email per day for 5 days, depending on the price point of your offer. The next kind of funnel is the phone funnel. And this funnel is a little bit more complex, but it doesn't require as many emails because you're going to be doing your selling on the phone. So, again, people are going to get into your funnel because of your core content, as you can see here. And the content that you create is always going to drive people to your opt-in. You always want to get people on your email list, on your text list. You always want to get people in your community so that you can continue to market to them after they have reviewed whatever material it is that you're sending them. So you're always going to be driving people to your opt-in. Once they are on your opt-in and they complete the form, you're going to send them directly to your sales page or the page that's going to have more information on your offer. One of the big mistakes that people make when it comes to building out a funnel is that they think that because they're getting on the phone, they don't need to give people any information about what it is that they're offering. When it's quite the opposite. You want to give people as much information as possible about what you're offering so that way they are excited to actually get on the phone with you. So usually for these kinds of funnels on the sales page, instead of there being a buy button, there is an application or some sort of intake questionnaire that people fill out to help you determine whether or not that person is a good fit. Now, what's important to note is once they complete the form for your opt-in, your email sequence is going to be driving people to the page that's going to be encouraging them to sign up for a call with you. So instead of you selling directly in your email sequence, you're going to want to be promoting the call and getting people on the call. That's going to be the goal of this first sales funnel. So you're going to have 3 emails that are going to send people to the sales page, get them excited about what you're selling, but also promote your calls and entice them to complete the intake questionnaire. Once that's done, once they have completed the questionnaire or the application, and scheduled the call with you, and the call has been completed, then you're going to want to send them to a page that actually has the checkout buttons or the buy button. And the way you're going to do this is, let me try to scroll up on this thing. Okay. And the way you're going to try to do this is by having 3 other emails that drive people to what's called the upsell page, or the actual checkout page, the sales page. So on the call, you did all the talking about the offer, you convinced them, you closed the deal, but now you need to drive them to where they can actually pay you money, right? You need to drive them to your Samcart, your Squarespace checkout, your ClickFunnels checkout page, wherever it is that you're collecting money. That's where you want to drive them to. But remember, not everybody is going to sign up immediately. People may get distracted. They hop off the phone with you and they forget. So you're going to want to also trigger another email that happens after your call is completed. So an hour, 15 minutes, even, immediately after your call is complete, you're going to want to trigger the upsell funnel that's going to continue to remind your potential customer why they should book from you now. You should have given them some sort of incentive to want to buy from you and check out sooner rather than later. So just one more time, you'll have your core content, which leads people to your freebie. Once they download your freebie, it's going to trigger a set of emails that drives people to the page where they can complete the application form or the intake form or schedule their call. After they have scheduled their call and their call is completed, you're then going to trigger another series of emails that's going to drive them to the actual checkout page or the page where they can purchase. Now, the last funnel is the webinar funnel. And this, again, is a little bit more complex and has a couple more steps, but it isn't super difficult. Here, the same thing, content will drive people to the opt-in, to your actual webinar registration page. Once they complete the form and register, it's going to trigger webinar confirmation emails. This is where people get the information about when to show up, download the workbook, all the details that's going to get them excited and onto the actual webinar. And they can view your webinar in 2 ways. They can view your webinar as a live attendee, or they can view your webinar as a replay attendee. Either way, you should have your confirmation emails promoting for people to get on it live. And if they don't get on your webinar live, then you would also want to schedule an email or 2 to entice people to watch the replay. After they've watched the webinar, the next thing that they're going to do is be driven directly to the sales page. At the end of the webinar, you should have made a pitch for your offer and again, incentivize why they should buy from you live on the webinar. But if they don't buy from you live on the webinar, you should still have a series of follow-up emails that's going to be driving people to the sales page to end up purchasing from you. So you'll be setting up essentially one sequence with 2 sets of emails. Your confirmation emails to get people to your actual webinar, and then your follow-up emails to get people to the sales page to pay you. Now that you have these in order, I want you to go into your actual email service provider and start setting these up. You might not have all of the emails already written, but the bulk of your follow-up funnel should have been already completed and ready to be set up. Remember that in spacing them out, you can decide to space them out once per day, once every 2 to 3 days, or how you see fit. Again, my recommendation is if it is a low price product below $500 or even below $1,000, you can have less emails that you send out once per day. And if it's a more expensive product, you can spread it out and have emails being sent out every 2 to 3 days over, let's say, 2 weeks. So get started on this, and as you're working through it, drop your questions in the lesson. See you soon.